Well, hello, everyone. My name is Tom. I'm a trend researcher, futurist. I'm specialized in youth, young culture, and young families, and what the world might look like in the next 5 to 10 years. People of Westor, Lisbeth and Lynn, asked me to give a short inspirational session on how to attract young people to the hospitality. They talked about millennials. But millennials are a group that is, of course, very interesting. But the youngest of that generation is 25. The oldest are already 38 or 39. So actually, this is not the youngest group anymore in hospitality. When you look at hospitality, you need to refocus towards Generation Z. That's the next generation. The oldest are 24 and then goes down to 9. Of course, 9 is way too young to work, but this is a very important group to understand when you talk about the future of hospitality and how to attract young people. Now, first, before I start digging into those two generations, millennials and Generation Z, maybe first some thoughts. Generational thinking is very black and white thinking. It is taking the average of the certain age group. So I don't talk about one person. I talk about the average of an entire generation. And second, how is the generation being formed, being created? How to talk about generation? Well, you need to focus on two things. First, the world that they grow up. So what about political changes, topics, ecological, economical, and of course technology. If you're being raised with tablets and mobile phones and or social media, your brain, your ideas are different than you were still writing text, were you still writing a piece of paper. Is there a lot of employment or unemployment? All those elements creates the DNA of a generation. So first, the world that they live in, the world that they grow up. And then second, their parents. Or what do their parents tell them? And so the combination of what their parents give them, and then second, the world that they grow up, that combined creates the generation, creates the DNA of a generation. Now, when you look at millennials and you look at Generation Z, the youngest, if you want to understand them, you need to think about what their parents told them. So the baby boomer parents, people in their 60s now, told their children, millennials, girl, boy, everything is possible. And if you want to understand why do they do stuff, think about that. Just one sentence. Their parents told them that everything is possible. Now that means that they're very dreamy, very optimistic. They're always searching for happiness, for joy, for balance. But because everything is possible, it's really difficult to make a choice. Because when you make a choice, you delete certain possibilities. And that's a problem because everything is possible. So actually, when you want to attract millennials to hospitality, you need to help them to find happiness. You need to help them to find balance. So maybe you can say, come and work for us, and you have enough time to work on your side project, to work on your passion, to work on your to be with your family. So we're really gonna help you to find balance. We're really gonna help you to find happiness. We're gonna guide you. We're gonna help you. We're gonna support you. You're gonna be a mentor, and that mentor will not only give information to you, you can also give them information. So reverse mentoring. All those elements are really important because their parents told them everything is possible. So help them to find balance and to find happiness. Millennials even buy magazines in the 10 steps to become happy. So you can say, come work for us and you become happy. And after 1 year, if they're not happy, no problem. Say again, yeah, maybe you need to try this. And then Millennials is a very optimistic, dreamy generation, but it's really in search for happiness and positivism and balance. Now, if you look at Generation Z, they're completely different. So when you focus on Generation Z, you have to keep in mind that their parents are Generation X, people in their 40s. And they told their children, Generation Z, everything is possible. So the same thing that the baby boomers told their millennials, everything is possible. But then they added something. Everything is possible as long as you work for it. And that means that this generation is very individualistic, very focused on what they want to do. And if they want to work, they're going to work and going to really work really hard. And the problem here is that for them, there is no hierarchy. There is no boss idea. The only people that are the ones that lead the pack are the ones that really get things done. So their Generation Z don't just want a mentor, or they're not going to search happiness. No, they're going to find happiness by really, really working, right? Really, really doing stuff, and combined together with other people that really, really, really want to do stuff. And if there are people, because they're older, because they are chilled, because they're going to be really, really tough on them. And the most important reason why they go away from a company is not because of the CEO or the manager. The most important reason is because other people have a lack of ambition. So it's really important to gather the right people for Generation Z. And second, it's really important to know what you're doing. So Generation Z loves values, but definitely when it's driven. So tell people who you are, what you differentiate in, what are you stand for, what is your DNA, and attract people not by their degree, but by their attitudes and by their ideas and their ambition. Generation Z, if you want to work with them, find Generation Xers. They will love to work with them. Baby boomers and millennials are going to have a hard time with those young kids because they want to talk about the weekend. They want to think 10 times before they act. And Generation Z is just going to act. And afterwards they're going to think. So if you give them one tip to work with Generation Z, technology is just basic. Everything needs to work perfectly, fluid. But Generation Z want to make a difference. They want to do stuff. They want to act. Give them space to innovate. Let them be entrepreneur within your hospitality concept. Know what you stand for so they know who they want to work for, and find the right people. And then last, for them technology is so basic that again, what becomes most important, most luxurious, that's social contact. So Generation Z, they don't want to hear you one time in the 2 months or in the 3 months. No, they want to hear you every day. And every day you need to have an informal chat with them to say, well, how are you doing? So really connect with them on a personal level. And also to customers. Give them space, give them time to really connect with customers. Because we did research on what's the future of love, and apparently for Generation Z, the symbol of love is shutting down your iPhone. So really give them space to connect with customers and to connect with you as a guide, as a mentor. Good luck. Cheers.